Our next story is from Kota. What do you know about this city? It is India's coaching district, a hotspot of aspiring engineers and doctors. But recently, unfortunately, it has become a hotspot of suicides. On Sunday alone, 2 students died by suicide in a span of 4 hours. One jumped off his coaching institute's building. His name was Avishkar Shambhaji Kasle. He was all of 16 years old. Another hanged himself at his rented apartment. His name was Adarsh Raj. Adarsh was only 18 years old. India's coaching district is riddled with a spate of suicides. There in fact have been 23 already this year. 23. So what is Kota doing about this is the immediate question. The district administration has halted tests and examinations at coaching centers for the next 2 months. And it's also trying to make student hostels and paying guest areas suicide-proof. How so? By installing spring-loaded fans so that the students don't end up hanging themselves to death. Balconies are being covered with anti-suicide nets so that the students don't jump off. What's next? Will the hostel wardens also start confiscating sharp objects from students? Is there any limit to this? Why not suicide-proof the system instead? Have a look at the numbers yourself. They are harrowing to say the least. It's just August and there are 4 months left in this year. Like I said, 23 students have died by suicide already. Last year, the figure stood at 15. A year before that, 9. The number of suicides had declined during the COVID-19 pandemic, but since then it has shot up by 60%. In fact, in the year 2018, there were 12 suicides. In 2017, there were 10. And as you can see, save for the pandemic years, the numbers have only grown. The question is, who is to be blamed? You see, often parents become the scapegoat, as if losing a child is not enough already. They have to live with the guilt of grinding their children too hard. But is it really their fault? Just look around you. Have a look at the society we are living in. The harsh reality is India only celebrates certain kind of professions. If you aren't a doctor or an engineer or don't land a government job, if you don't clear an entrance examination or perhaps score 90% in your board exams, your career is considered to be practically over. So when parents ask their children to perform, to score well, to get into the best college, it comes from a good place. We can blame the parents, we can hold the teachers accountable, we can also point fingers at the coaching centers that capitalize on the students' dreams. But are they really the villains in this story? Or is the villain this deep-rooted mindset that your mark sheet defines you? Think about it. Think of all those days you were in high school yourself. What was it like? Wasn't a majority of curriculum based on cramming facts, memorizing formulas, principles that you rarely use now as a part of your day-to-day lives? And yet, those who scored well moved on to prestigious colleges and landed well-paying jobs. But what about innovation? What about application-based learning? Is the practice of rote learning even working out for India? Or is it putting unnecessary pressure on the students? Let's have a look at some more numbers. Take the example of India's most prestigious engineering institute, the Indian Institute of Technology, IIT. There are 23 IITs across India. In all, there are only 17,385 seats. More than 1,113,000 students registered for the JEE mains exam. Can you see how fierce the competition really is? Some 17,000 seats against over 1 million students. And last year, there were 16,598 seats in IITs. Over 1,026,000 students registered for the JEE mains. You see the admission slots increased by only 1,000 in a year, but the number of aspirants grew a lot more. The seats in IITs remain somewhat limited, and every year more students dream of grabbing those same seats. More and more end up enrolling themselves in coaching centers, not just in Kota, but across India, with every parent dreaming that there is scope for their child to get in. I don't mean to demotivate you, of course. Those who really want to become an engineer or a doctor, by all means do it. Take coaching, take tuition, study hard. But our hearts go out to those who are just doing it to make their parents proud, or to land a job that is socially acceptable in India. Also, for those who are crumbling under the pressure to excel, please remember, your life is worth more than any entrance examination, and your mark sheet does not define your future or your merit. WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the updates on the move.